Screaming like the start of a race. Diet Pepsi's my fuel in this Monday maze. Shake the weekend fog off my tired face. The hustling begins, no time to waste. Hey Monday, motivation, bring it on. Let's do this thing. The cloud won't stop, the fire will show. Step by step, I feel the glow. It's my time now, let's start the show. Sun clouds up higher, chasing dreams like chasing fire. Got my rhythm set to overdrive. This Monday motivation vibe's keeping me alive. Hey Monday, motivation, bring it on. Let's do this thing. The crowd won't stop, the fire will show. Step by step, I feel the glow. It's my time now, let's start the show. Street lights fading, sun climbs up higher, chasing dreams like chasing fire. I got my rhythm set to overdrive. This Monday motivation vibe's keeping me alive. Hey Monday, motivation, bring it on. Let's do this thing. The crowd won't stop, the fire will show. Step by step, I feel the glow. It's my time now, I own the show. We can be heavy, but I'm tougher still. Climbing the mountain, fueled by will. Each heartbeat whispers, yes you can. I'm golden, helping every woman and man. Hey Monday, motivation, bring it on. Let's do this thing. The climb won't stop, the fire will show. Step by step, I feel the glow. It's my time now, let's start the show.
Guys, welcome to Monday Motivation, another episode. So welcome in, guys. I am the host of your Monday Motivation, as I am for all Monday Motivations. And if you don't know who I am Pamela, aka Scooterrenee. So welcome in. I hope if you are new, you'll keep on coming back, because we do great things here at Monday Motivation. So make sure. Oh, let me tell you real quick about me. Those, in case somebody's new coming in. Like I said, Pamela, a.k.a. Scooterrenee. I do Monday Motivations every Monday night, just about every Monday night. Unless I'm on vacation, sick, or, it's a holiday. Other than that, we're here. And then I do auctions on my channel, usually Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes on the weekend. So make sure you do the YouTube things. You subscribe to my channel. Got stuttered there for a second. Subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click the bell for all notification and a thumbs up tonight. I would greatly appreciate that. If you are new to my channel, like I said, I hope you'll keep on coming back. We talk about all kinds of different things over here, and we are starting to do more giveaways as well. So if you're new, just keep on coming back. I promise you there will be a topic somewhere along the line that's going to fit what you need in your life at the moment. So all my OGs, I see your names popping up in chat. Welcome in. You know who you are. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you for being here. And the playback crew. If you're the playback crew, make sure that you let me know. Comment. Let me know that you're the playback, because I always like to know who is watching this after I have gone live. So means you can also catch me on the playback. You don't necessarily have to be here live, but it's so great because we all kind of get into it now that, I make y'all participate more. Well, I don't make you, but you know what I mean. So let's see who all is in chat. I know there's a lot of great things going on the YouTube, so feel free to bounce back and forth if you need to. Other people will come in as they get the notification as well. Also, there's the championship game that has kicked off between the Gators and Houston. Go Gators. I'm all Gators. So let's go. I would love to see them win. So first in, we got Dream Chaser Tammy in. I was just over on Tammy's channel helping her, mod for her, watch the chat for her and everything. She did a phenomenal job. So make sure y'all are subscribing to each other, showing your support. All you got to do is click on those 3 dots. If you have a wrench, click on the 3 dots out to the side of the person's name and go to their channel and hit subscribe. It just takes you less than 3 seconds, if that. Hey, Josie, welcome in. Good to see you. And we got Joanne here. Hello, Joanne. Welcome, welcome. We got my feather sister, Selena, in the house. Welcome in, Selena. Lisa D, how are you, my friend? Yeah, I've been thinking about you. So, Lisa D, welcome in. We got Deborah here. Hey, Deborah, welcome in. Good to see you. And let's see, is that it? That is it for now. So we'll welcome other people as they come in. I hope you all had a great weekend. Yeah, you're rested. You're ready to face the week. Or maybe you didn't rest well. Maybe you had some things that happened on the weekend as well. But you need a recharge. So you're in the right place if that's what you need as well. So hope you all already said that. I don't need to refer to my notes on that part again. Hey, Steph, welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I was helping Tammy a while ago, and I just wasn't all of a sudden started not feeling the greatest. So I'm trying to push through Monday Motivation with you guys. So hang in there with me. Definitely need a recharge, right, Lisa D? So Roflo and I, we stayed home most of the weekend. If y'all didn't know, we had like all kinds of bad weather going on all around us. We've had some deaths that happened with the weather. So just very traumatic as far as like tornadoes and the wind damage and stuff like that. And then Saturday, it was completely what I call a whiteout. I know it's snow, but at the same time, like you couldn't see through the rain. It was so bad here. And thunder just kept rolling. Like it was not stopping for anything for a little while. So I decided I probably was better just to stay home. So that's what we did. And we kind of caught our breath from being going on our trip and then hitting the ground running again as soon as we got back. So we kind of needed that. I didn't do anything Saturday until I went on with Cool Ranch at Saturday night. And then Sunday, I pretty much did the same thing and worked on invoicing. I have stuff I needed to do for my hustle here. And I was working on my notes for tonight and shipping as well. All that got done yesterday, late afternoon probably. So last week, when Selena and I went live Tuesday night, I totally forgot to do the giveaway for the hashtag winner. So we're doing that one. We'll do that one towards the end of tonight's show. So if you did the hashtag giveaway, you got to stick around to the end for the giveaway on that. And then also tonight, we're doing the first ever, and I've been doing Monday Motivation for 2 years now. 3 years, maybe 3. Might be 3 years now. But anyways, we're doing the first ever Monday Motivation chat participation drawing. So if you're new to my channel, you're new to my Monday Motivation, you're like, what is that all about? Or it's been a while and you come back, we now do, hey, Francine, welcome in. Good to see you. I think I said hello to Steph. Steph, I did say hi to you, right? Chat's flowing now. But if you are brand new to my channel, you coming back from after being gone a while, chat participation. If you participate with a comment when I do the chat participation, and I tell you when I'm doing those, if you participate, you get entered into my Monday Motivation drawing that we're doing monthly. So this is already for the past month of March, but you can get in on the April one. But I star you as I see those that comment, so then I know who to enter into the drawing from that. So we're going to do that one right now because tonight's topic starts for the month of April's drawing. So we'll do the next drawing come somewhere around May 1st, whenever the first Monday of May is. So, all right. Thank you, Steph. I always worry when I don't say hello to you guys. Y'all know this. So, like, it makes me paranoid. I don't like to be ignored, so I don't want to ignore you guys. So let me make sure I grab the right cup. Yep, here we go. So everybody's, as you can see, there's quite a few in there for March. Those of you that when I say chat participation time and I ask you a question and y'all participate in the chat, that's when you get entered into the drawing. So we're going to shake this up, and we're going to see who our first winner for tonight is. We're going to do one winner for Monday Motivation, then we'll do one winner for the hashtag. And I'll explain the hashtag drawing when we get to that part. All right, I think I mixed it up pretty good. All right, here we go. Who is our Monday Motivation, first ever Monday Motivation drawing? I don't know if he's in here. I don't know if I saw him. Harry is our first drawing. Of course, I hate this camera. This is why I show him my box, because it's hard to see, because I have my camera where it's done, focus on me, and that way I don't have to refocus it. But yeah, that's starting to kind of eat at me. But Harry is our first winner for the month. So congratulations, Harry, for participating. If you're watching the playback, or if y'all can get him in here, we'll congratulate him when he's in here. But congratulations, Harry. So Harry, let's see. I usually have mostly women in here, so I kind of bought some women things. I'll tell you what, it's my channel. Let's go for one more, because I'll have to find something special for Harry. Harry might say, I don't care. Just give it to me. Let's just do one more. How about that? I'm feeling generous, and I bought more than I should probably, so why not? Surprise. All right, so our second winner, Nancy Smith. Miss Nancy Smith, there you are. Nancy Smith. So I don't know if she's come in yet. Has she? Have I said hello and forgot already? If Nancy Smith comes in, she is our other winner for Monday Motivation. So I got Harry Dog, whatever you want to call him, as our first winner, and Nancy Smith as our second winner. So, Harry, I'm going to come up with something special for you. So, but for Nancy is going to get, well, maybe we should wait and show it when Nancy arrives, because Nancy will be in here at some point. Hey, Cole, my feather sister, welcome in. So good to see you. Welcome. I saw you pop in. All right, yeah, so Nancy's not in here yet either, but she will be in here. She always is in here, so I'm going to show you her prize when she pops in. So, did I say hello to Sandy? Hey, Sandy, if I didn't say hello. And Sandy, I still got to come up with a nickname for you. Where did she go? There she is. She calls me Child. Hey, Child. All right, so Nancy, I'll show it again, but Nancy gets this journal. It says, Be Still, Psalms 46:10. And what this is, I thought this was really cool, and I think Nancy would really dig this. Hey, Mr. Stephanie, welcome in. But you put your date up here, what day it is, and then you put your verse of the day, if you have your verse of your day, what your prayers are, so you can write people's names down there, what your praises are, and then what your worries. And notice your praises are a lot more lines than your worries, because that's the way it should be, right? So yeah, I think this is really cool, and I think Nancy will really like it. And she gets a pen that goes with it, and that has the Lord, or the joy of the Lord is your strength, Nehemiah 8:10. So she gets the pen as well. So congratulations. Oh, and Nancy, in case y'all don't catch you, there's a butterfly on there. So how perfect for Nancy. I just now noticed that. All right, so we'll show that to Miss Nancy when she comes in. Stay tuned. We still have the hashtag drawing, but we're going to do that a little bit later. So congratulations to my two winners. Y'all are the first ever Monday Motivation Chat Participation winners. So, and we'll be doing that each month as long as everybody's participating. We'll keep doing those. So keep hanging around, keep participating in chat, and maybe your name is drawn the next month, right? All right. Let's see. Tonight's topic is all about I am wired to win. And last week we discussed what we were willing to do in our life and how we approach things and so forth. I thought it was very eye-opening for myself. I always tell y'all, when I'm talking to you guys, know that I'm not just pointing a finger at you, I'm pointing 3 back at me. So I bring these things to you because they speak so much volume to me. And I never know how my topics are going to go until I'm in the middle of the notes. And I'm like, oh, Scooter, if you're putting this out, you're obviously thinking it, but why aren't you thinking it more? So I encourage you to still have your notebook, your notepad, whatever you use to keep notes on, just in case something does pop out at you and you're like, that's an aha moment. I need to write that down. I want to remember that. So I do encourage you to still have your notes so you can take down your notes, because I know some of y'all do like to take notes. Hey, Echo, living my best life at 60. Welcome in, my friend. How are you? I've been keeping up with you. So hope you are doing good. I'm excited, like I said, to discuss tonight's topic, because before I researched what I wanted to say, I had one thought process, and then it totally changed by the time I got done throughout the whole process of this. So tonight, hang in there, because we are wired to win, no matter what your thought process is, positive or negative. If you're negative, you're still wired to win, and I'm going to tell you how you're wired to win. So let's get this started. Positive spot thought. When you have set out the goals that you are claiming is yours in life, and more importantly, relentlessly taking the actions to produce, it's only a matter of when. We are wired to win. You are wired to win. So we're going to just go ahead and kick off the month of April with the very first chat participation question. So those, again, of you that are just coming in, you're like, what's this chat participation? When I ask a question and I tell you that it's chat participation time, if you answer the question, you get starred, and then you get entered to the monthly drawing, and you get to win like Mr. Harry or Miss Nancy did tonight. So real quick, Echo says she is down 85 pounds in 8 months. How incredible is that? Congratulations, Echo. That is just awesome. Love it. Okay, so our very first, there's Harry. Harry, you are my first winner of Monday Motivation. I didn't show you a prize for you because I'm thinking on yours, because usually we got all women in here. So when I went shopping, I didn't keep the men in my head for whatever reason. So Harry, you are the first one. I'm going to send you something special. I just got to go back to the store and get it now. and then Nancy won as well. So yes, congratulations, Harry. Harry always drops some great advice in the chat. So be paying attention to Harry when he drops his stuff. All you drop great things. But Harry just makes you really think. So, awesome, Echo. 8 prescription meds from 19 before her surgery. How cool is that? What an incredible journey. So chat participation time. Who all believes, I'm going to make it easy on you, who all believes that we are wired to win? No matter if it's positive or negative or whatever, that we're winning in this thing called life. So if you believe that we are wired to win, I want you to put I in chat. I believe that, Scooter. I believe we're wired in, or wired in. Wired to win. Some of us need to be wired in, aka myself. We got Sandy in first. Welcome. Golly, where does my thoughts go, guys? We've got Echo answering yes. Sandy was saying I do, is what I was trying to say. Selena says me. Harry says I. Joanne says I. Cole says I. Echo says I. Selena, I don't know. I tricked y'all on that one, didn't I? Lisa D says I. There you go. Steph wants to be a cutie and put an actual eyeball in the chat. We're still going to honor it because I know what she means. If you didn't know, Steph is the chicken nugget from our one fry short of a Happy Meal. So we're going to have you on, Steph, just so we can prove that. Right. Selena and I are going to have to talk about that and have you on a Tuesday. Because then we'll change it from one fry short of a Happy Meal, but with a chicken nugget. That's what we'll do. That's right, Harry. See, Harry already gets an A+ for the lesson already. He says, every day we wake up, we're winning, right? Yes. And Josie says, so see, as simple as that. You participate when I tell you it's participation, and then you get in the drawing. Let's roll, Steph said. Let's do it. We're going to plan that. All right. So, yeah, you do, Sandy. Whatever. I just tricked you and left that part off until the very end. So the truth is that we are winning all at the life that we have. We're always winning at the life that we have. That even when you think you're losing a life, you're actually winning. That everything that happens is really a victory. This isn't some feel-good, kumbaya type thing, or even a sales line, whatever. It's the truth. I mean, you are the champion of your life. Nobody else is living your life except for you. And you've taken down goal after goal. You're undefeated. Everything you have set your mind to has come true. I'm going to go into further on that in just a minute. Now, you're probably thinking, Scooter, you have done lost every brain cell you had left. Every brain cell that you had left. She has LOST, lost it. That, or you're thinking, I'm talking to someone else on the other side of the screen. Definitely not at you. Anyone but you. Well, let me explain. Perhaps all your life, you've wondered if you would ever find, and you can plug anything into this, but perhaps all your life, you've wondered if you would ever find the love of your life, or the career you love, or the friendship you've been needing and craving, whatever it may be, but you've been searching for this your whole life. See, I have to stop when Harry says something. Imagine how boring it would get if every day, though, we woke up, it was the same. What we win by things not always going our way. It helps us learn. Yes. Yes, Harry. You get an extra star. All right. So, you're trying to find that one thing, one person, something that you've been wanting all your life. Let's just take love or a friendship relationship. You've searched for this one person to share your life with. And maybe up to this point, it hasn't happened yet. Now, again, you can use this example with any part of your life to get to the same point I'm going to make here. Maybe you've met people, you've had relationships, friendships, personal relationships, whatever they may be, but they all ended somewhere short of forever. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Forever. Before Roflo, or Robert, my husband, as far back as I can remember, I always went for the guys. Even back in like elementary, junior high, middle school, I always went for the guys that had that rebel attitude. What I thought was the tough guy look. And some of y'all might be able to relate to that. And I was never into guys that were nice looking, nice acting, well-mannered style, nerdy, geeky, whatever you want to call them. And I don't know why. It just was never. I remember dating one guy in 7th grade, and I was super embarrassed to be dating him. So when people ask me, is that your boyfriend? I would say, no, he's not my boyfriend. But I just wanted a boyfriend, I've had one every grade year, even since kindergarten. Stupid little me. No, I'm kidding. That's not a good statement, Scooter. But I was just used to always having one, and 7th grade was a whole new adventure, Hey, Shelby. Welcome in. Winning doesn't always mean being first. Winning means you're doing better than you've ever done before. Love it. All right. So, back to this old 7th grade drama, back then. And maybe it was to go against what my parents wanted for me. Maybe it was that I thought that was all I deserved. I don't know. Maybe it was my daddy was a good guy and he left my mom. So am I truly deserving or worthy of a good man myself? Maybe it was the movie Grease. How many of y'all remember the movie Grease and the leather jacket, the T-birds and the pink ladies? Like, I love that movie. I still watch that movie to this day. But who knows? It could have been any of those scenarios and everything. So I married a rebel guy, as I would probably called it. And I was married 5.5 years too long. Got 2 beautiful girls out of it somehow, maybe thanks to my, to me, my genetics. But still too long to be married to him. And I was getting frustrated with the dating scene. After we got divorced, I went through that phase of dating for a while. And I knew in my mind after my divorce what kind of guy I truly wanted after my divorce. I knew what I needed, I knew what I wanted, and I wasn't going to settle. So I was getting frustrated with, going back to dating. And funny how God always knows what we need in someone else. I know, right? Yes. Cool Ranch says, I just love guys who have fast cars. For some reason, my guys never had cars. Selena said, I want it so badly to be a pink lady. Yes, we were trying to get the pink jackets and all that. I remember that like it was yesterday. I love that movie. So, Robert, or Roflo, as y'all know him, he was going to be the last guy I dated for a while. Because I was just going out with these. I knew I wanted an older man, at least by 3 years or so. But I was going out with these guys that were kind of maybe scary looking, like they were geeky looking or whatever, weird, but they were kind of scary too at the same time. Whatever you want to put out there. So I go out with Robert. He picks me up, and I actually made him pick me up from my parents' house. First date out of the 2 years that I was divorced, I made him pick me up at my parents' house because I wanted my parents to know if something was to happen to me that I didn't come back for my car, And I don't know why I did because Robert's just as innocent as they come. So, but he picked me up and he had a rose in the car for me. And then after that was on a Saturday night, we go out on our date. And then that following Monday, he sends me the most beautiful dozen of red roses. The most gorgeous roses I have ever seen in my life to this day. They were huge and they were just gorgeous. But we continued to date, and I was the one that was hesitant on committing to him and such. Like I think he was probably ready before I was. And I remember telling Tom, who worked with me and my stepdad at the time, I remember telling him at the time, I said, Tom, he's such a nice guy. I don't date nice guys. That's just not me. And I will never forget that day and I get chills as I talk about it right now. He looked at me right and square in my eyes and he said, Pamela, that's what you need. And it was like a light switch flipped in my head. And I'll never forget that moment. It truly changed my life. But maybe you're in that moment that I was in. And again, you can apply that to anything in your life. Maybe it's with a job or whatever. But after a while, I found myself, I was losing hope at that point. And maybe you are too. You wonder if you'll ever meet the right person, or if you'll ever have the type of friendship that you crave, or you get that job that you really wanted. Maybe these things are just not meant to be. You think of things like, will anyone ever love me? Am I worthy of being loved? Why do I always seem to attract the same types of people? That statement alone can go with relationship or friendship. Maybe you attract the wrong type of friends, the ones that, want to use you or they want to tear you down instead of building you up and so forth. Maybe you look back on your childhood to times you might not felt loved enough or liked enough, or you didn't get picked for a certain team that you wanted to be on. Maybe there were periods in your adolescence where you felt like an outsider, or those past relationships kept playing out like the movie Groundhog Day, just with different players at each time. Go in the chat here real quick. Harry says, usually when our parents try to tell us stuff and we don't listen, then later in life you get to think, geez, my parents were right. What kids don't realize their parents went through, right? That's what I also say to my kids. I'm like, y'all don't realize how much your dad and I have had to work to get to where we're at right now, to what we have right now. You don't get it just, because you want it. You got to work for it. Oh, that's cool, Sandy. Sandy says she drove fast cars and could work on them. She was one of the boys. That's why you and Selena get along so well. Francine says, I always went for the rebels and the bad boys. They were more fun. At this age, I wish I would have had the sense to go for someone more compassionate that would have my back. Amen. Right? Yes. It's like, why did I think that? That's right. When it's your time, God will put you with that person. Yep. Francine says, now being a mom, my mom always wanted the best for me. Now I know that I would never want my son to meet someone who took advantage of him or treating him bad, right? We get a little bit defensive when it comes to our kids because we know what we went through. And, the cycle just keeps repeating. So as far as, our parents want it more for us, we want more for our kids will want more for our grandkids, so forth and so on. Hopefully that's how it goes. So, again, I love about the Groundhog movie how, it just repeats over and over. So maybe that's what you kind of going through. Hey, Cece, welcome in. Good to see you. But then that one day happens like it did for me. You meet someone, a light gets flipped in your brain about either a job or a friendship, or, that house that you've been thinking about buying, or the car you've been thinking about buying, or whatever it may be. You find out you really have a lot in common and you enjoy each other's company. So we're going back to meeting someone. And the next thing you know, your days stretch into weeks, and then weeks stretch into months, and maybe to years and so forth. And you start wondering if they could be the one. You know what I mean? Even in a friendship or a job, you can still wonder if it's the one. And all of a sudden, however, those dark clouds of doubt, they start rolling into your mind. And maybe it starts in some small ways. And then all of a sudden, the storm finally breaks loose. And no sooner do you think you're in love, you start to fall out of love. Or no sooner do you think you're friends with someone that the friendship starts to fall out. The smallest things turn into negative things. And they turn into arguments. That's where I was going with that. It turns into arguments. And you start thinking that this is not going to work. And they're thinking it too. And maybe you've reached your breaking point with them. And you have a nasty fallout or two or three, Or maybe it slowly starts to die until you decide to just pull the plug. You eventually go your separate ways. You're hurt naturally. You're crushed. But somehow you're able to resolute that eventually things will turn out for you. Right, cool. Except guess what? They did. It may look and feel like a loss. It was actually a win. The truth again is you are winning at the life you have. Well, Scooter, what if I don't want this life that I have? Fine. But this part of your life that you are in is currently the one that you're winning at. Scooter, you have definitely lost it. How could I possibly call a failed relationship a win? Well, believe it or not, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're better off without that certain person in your life. I'm not even going to tell you that you're a special snowflake, a special delicate snowflake who will find that person when you're ready. I'm not even going to tell you how great you are and that is everyone else's problem, not yours. You and I both know that that's not accurate. So going back to my situation, I won that failed relationship with my ex-husband because I achieved exactly what I set out to accomplish in the first place. I knew he wasn't the one. I was just terrified that nobody else was going to want me because here I was. I was pregnant with my first daughter. But I knew he wasn't the one. I knew he was the rebel guy and that he really didn't have much motivation in life to want more. I knew all this going into it. I didn't even want more for myself and for me to just settle for what I did. But after that, I knew I wanted more. After we had already been married for a little bit, I knew I wanted more for myself and for my girls. And I might not knew this then, but I know now that I subconsciously picked him in the first place. I was subconsciously thinking I didn't deserve more or deserve a life that a man steps up and provides for his family. I knew it wasn't going to work out. It didn't work out with my parents. Why in the world would it ever work out for me? Yet I still went with it. I still did it. Selena says, I was in such a negative space that I chose the wrong friends. Thank God I found you all, right? Exactly, cool. The one that stick by your side are your true friends. Selena says, when you ask, is he really here? I should have known then. Is he really here? I'm just thinking. She'll clarify. So, back to this whole thing. Now, don't get me wrong. That there's all the reasons why and so forth. But I think we can get these patterns buried deep in our subconscious that we actively and deliberately undermine the success of our own relationship, our own self as well. And I mean, maybe you've had this with a friendship or a boss or whatever, but you became sensitive to problems where there really wasn't apparently any problems. And you find that you start picking at everything, getting annoyed by everything, and blowing up the tiniest of things. And over time, you've proved your point, and the relationship ends. What if this is what you have become wired to win at? I mean, you were convinced, I was convinced, that you weren't worthy of a loving relationship, that you didn't deserve a better person in your life or a better job. You just settled. So you systematically set out to prove it. And guess what? I succeeded. You succeeded. Woohoo! Congratulations to us. We still won. And maybe you can't relate to those examples. Maybe you're happily married or you have the bestest of friends. Look at your own dark spots, if you will. The parts where you're most ineffective or feel you're ineffective, where it seems like you have lost or currently losing in that part of that area of your life. JC says, when you figure out you're a good person and you like yourself, you will then find the right one that will respect you. Amen. Selena says, I was getting married and I was at the church and I was asking, is he really here? Got you. You're not sick. You're getting better. You sounded better today. Harry says, chat jump. I don't care if I meet a woman and she doesn't believe in God, then that relationship isn't going to work, right? Sandy says, 45 years, and trust me, we haven't liked each other at times, but here we are counting the years. We have been blessed together. Yes, I'm sure there's plenty of days that Robert doesn't like me. I'm not his friend that day. All right. Two people have to evenly yoke. Yes, very true. That's what he's afraid of. He's afraid of all those clocks you have that you're going to set to where the sound comes on every time it strikes a new hour. And Lord help us when it strikes midnight, right? Joanne said when she married her first husband, before her dad walked her down the aisle, he asked, are you sure you don't have to do this? I should have let my dad walk me right out the door. Amen. Like, yes. I was so scared what my parents were going to say. Y'all have heard my story. I was so scared of what my parents were going to say that after the fact, my stepdad's like, if you would have just not got married, you could have stayed on my benefits. Well, thanks. Now I know that. I wouldn't change a thing. Do not get me wrong. I would not change a thing that I went through in my life because it's made me who I am today. And I got 2 great girls out of it. I would do it all over again if it meant to have my Shelby and my Harley. I would do it all over again because I would never have another Shelby or Harley. So I had other girls, but I wouldn't have had them. So I would do it all over again if I could just have my girls. So. Right, Selena, yes. And I don't know if you went through this, Selena, but yeah, I mean, the weight of no other man's going to take me. No other man's going to accept me and my child. And then now as I got older, it's like, well, duh, you dummy. Your stepdad married your mom and she still had you at home. My brother was already my brother's 8 years older, so he was going into the Navy by the time my stepdad and my mom got married. So, if I would have thought about that, I don't know. I wouldn't have Harley, though. That's what I keep coming back to. I wouldn't have Harley. I would have Shelby, but I wouldn't have my Harley. So, let's see. Joanne says, he is my starter husband. Eventually, I found my true love. We've been together 30 years, married 28. Right? Congratulations. That's why Robert and I, we're like, we don't even count the first marriages. Because we both believe that that's not who God intended us to be with. So we were just being hard-headed and not listening. It was our problem. So the thoughts, though, that we have, they're so powerful over us that they are constantly pushing us towards our goals. Even when we don't realize what those goals actually are. Our brains, your brain, was wired to win, no matter what. So this doesn't just apply to relationships you have in your life. It also applies to your career, your fitness, your finances, and everything else in between, and maybe even out of between. However you word that you do. But we are hardwired to win. So that brings us to tonight's topic. I am wired to win. I always don't want to miss what's happening in chat. Can't have regrets. You got beautiful children. That's where your life was meant to head, right? Yes. Who knows what would have happened if that hadn't happened. Josie, I wish I could say that. Okay, I had one good husband. I have an awesome, wonderful husband now. Sandy says, all things for a reason, one day we will know, right? Selena says, I went through 2. What was your thinking? Marriages, and God gave me Sam when I got saved, right? Steph says, yep, wouldn't have my oldest adult kids without the proof. I didn't always think of the future, aka X, right? I never planned on getting divorced. I was going to make it work. I mean, my gosh, I stayed married to him for 5.5 years of emotional abuse, maybe a little bit of physical abuse, not a whole lot, but emotional, definitely. I was still going to tough it out because that's what I've been taught my whole life, even though my parents didn't. But, I even seeked out a Baptist preacher who told me that I needed to just pray about it and stay with him, even though he wasn't stepping up and being a man, holding a job and providing for his family. And it was all on my shoulders to do this. So anyways, we're not going there. We're not talking about that tonight. But it does, like I said, it doesn't just apply to relationships that you have in your life. It doesn't, it also can apply to your career, your fitness, your finances, and everything else that you can possibly come up with. So we're always winning because our brain is wired to win. The problem or the trouble comes to play when what you really want on a subconscious level and what you say you want are different. And sometimes they are radically different. All right, here we go. Let me catch up in chat. real quick. It teaches you what not to accept. Amen. Big amen on that one. Selena says, I was too, but Matt wanted more kids with too many women when we were married. I was like, after I had Harley, I was like, since I'm doing a C-section, go ahead and tie the twos because our checkbook cannot afford another kid. So, all right. So, another chat participation time. Y'all been doing good without me cueing y'all on these chat participation. But chat participation time, gosh, I'm just curious, who here thinks their subconscious and what you say won't are the same, or who here thinks that they are radically different? I think mine are different when it comes to succeeding in my own business or my career thoughts that I won't think that I won't and how they really are. Like a lot of times they don't match. What I say and what I subconsciously won't do not match. So I got to get that in check for myself. So how many of you are maybe in the same boat as me, or maybe yours are actually aligning together? Maybe they are the same, the subconscious and what you say. You know, the old saying, walk the walk, talk the talk type thing. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Right? Cool? Yes. Okay. I'm going to say it again, ask it again. Who here thinks that your subconscious and what you say you want are the same? Or do you think they're different? Radically different. Joanne says different. So do you think that your subconscious thoughts match with what you say? Meaning you walk the walk, you talk the talk. Or do you maybe walk the walk, but you don't necessarily talk the talk, or vice versa? Sandy says same. I was wondering if we would have some people in here that have the same. Cool says same. Like I said different. Mine is definitely different. What I say I want to do doesn't match up with what I really want to do in my mind. I start doubting myself. I start, becoming lazy or procrastinating doing something or whatever. Selena says, I'm pretty stubborn, pretty much walk with in my head may not be the best decision, but I do. Yes. Steph says same. Francine says same. I know, cool. That you do, my friend. That's what I love about you. Lisa D says same. Oh, awesome. Okay. I thought we were going to have some people in here that say this different. Harry says, not always. Sometimes you'll be thinking something and say it differently, but same thought. Right? Josie says, I always say what I think. My mind is the same. You are, Selena. You definitely are. And maybe I'm taking some meds with you because I just about called you Steph. Cece, she says, same now. Had to realize that recently. Love it. All right, let's keep going. Dr. Bruce Lipton. He is, some of y'all might recognize the name. See, I can't even talk. Same 99%, Steph says, but lately doing a lot of what doesn't necessarily match. There's variables with others, right? Yes. That's where I find myself right now, too. Step away from the tussin, Selena. So Dr. Bruce Lipton, he is the famous stem cell and DNA scientist. He found that 95%, you're fine, Tammy. He found that 95% of what we do in our day-to-day life is controlled by our subconscious. Think about that. 95% of what we do in our day-to-day life is controlled by our subconscious. Well, I must be thinking about that 5% then. That means that out of all the things that we say, all the things that we do, only a tiny fraction of them or with a true sense of volition. I mean, how many of us have lost track of time? Drove home or to work or somewhere else, and we couldn't even remember a single thing about the journey. Or maybe we forgot what day it was. We're basically functioning on autopilot, mindlessly gouging our way through life's predictable muddy field. Right, cool? So we're on autopilot, mindlessly going, day-to-day life. We're going through life's predictable muddy field. And the path that we are going along, that we're following through our life, is the one dictated by our deepest, most inconspicuous thoughts. Our brain is just continuously pushing us along the path, whether it's the one you would consciously choose or not. Right, Tammy? Autopilot. I know I've done that. I've driven home, and I don't remember. I remember leaving the office. I remember getting onto the road and then getting on the freeway. But from the freeway to the time I take the exit to get to my house, I'm like, it's a wonder I didn't hit anybody, or it's a wonder that, I didn't run somebody off the road or whatever, because I don't remember how I got from point A to point B, because I've just been lost in thought and was on autopilot. My car just knew where I was going, right? So the path that we are going along, that we're following through our life, like I said, is the one that's dictated by our most conspicuous thoughts. Remember last week we talked about everyone has a choice. Everyone has a choice. I told y'all about how my oldest daughter says, I don't have a choice, those 5 words, and how they go all over me. Regardless if you're thinking you can't increase your income, can't seem to lose the weight, etc. Have you ever considered that your subconscious concealed beliefs about your income and or maybe your weight may be driving your action or the lack of it? Again, I know mine does. Go-kart. Oh. Right, Tammy? We all need to stop and smell the roses sometimes. Yes, I can only imagine, Lisa. That's the way I felt going over to Memphis in the last couple of weeks that my dad was alive. I don't remember any of the trip, Sandy says, I'm blessed. My day is filled with birds and butterflies at this point, but I still don't know what day it is. That's what happens when you're retired. It don't matter what day it is. Let's see. Francine said, estimates suggest that roughly 95% of the brain activity is unconscious, with only 5% being consciously processed, right? Yes. Josie says she analyzes everything. I think I analyze too much. I read into too much. Right? You can always raise your income. Might hurt, but it can be done. So, we automatically relate ourselves as belonging to a certain economic class with a certain level of fitness, and our actions serve to keep us in place right where we're the most familiar to ourselves. Right, Steph? Analyze, reanalyze, overanalyze. Yes. Francine, see, I'm in good company. So I kind of like to look at these as domains. We have these domains or worlds, whatever you want to call it, that we live in or that we win in. So an example would be, let's say you make $40,000 a year. Maybe it's less than that. Maybe it's more than that. Whatever it may be, that's a domain. The planning, the strategy, the thinking you do to make that $40,000 a year constitutes that domain. It's not necessarily, believe it or not, it's not necessarily any harder to make $80,000 if you want to double your income. It's not even any harder to make $80,000 than it is to make $40,000. You may think it is, but it's not an absolute. Kind of like Harry said, it might hurt, but you can do it. No matter if you're making $17 an hour, $30 an hour, $50 an hour, 40 hours of work is still 40 hours of actual work. Now, yes, it's important to figure out what you're actually working on. Is it productive work or is it just busy work? But figuring out what domain you're in is the question. Oh, I meant to go in there, Joanne, and turn that. Now you can adjust how many commercials, and I totally forgot to double check tonight. I'm sorry, Joanne. Right? Yes. Harry says overthinking sometimes isn't good for you. You just have to let it go. It can make you highly stressed. Yes. Yeah, I know. I don't know if it really will change if I go in there and check that right now. Because I tried to do that the other night. You know, YouTube, StreamYard, all of them, they're always changing things and they think, oh, this is going to make this better. No, it doesn't. It just messes everything up. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me see. Content. This one right here. And customization. Well, it's not even on here. Oh, yeah, it is under monetization. Okay. All right, we're going to save that and see if that works. I don't know if it'll work since we're already into it. So I apologize. I will try to be more mindful of that going forward in all my lives. Yeah, I don't understand what they've changed. I don't know. Nope, it did that the other night. Cole says YouTube is trying to make it more annoying, so you all upgrade to the premium version of YouTube. I believe that. I am on premium YouTube because I don't want to deal with commercials. So I do pay. So I don't ever really think about that for you guys because I don't get them because I pay for to not get them. All right. So again, how do we go about getting into a domain? I think that's where I left off. You have to uncover and realize the ways in and you have limited yourself. Those absolutes that you are currently unaware of that you have. What are the conclusions that you have come to about yourself, others, and life itself? And these conclusions that you have are what is the limit of your potential. I'll do it, Cole. Remind me, and I can tell you. All right, make sure I'm not missing anything. All right. So, when you have broken through these conclusions and you can experience life outside of your current existence, that you can start to understand the power of this. It's a view of life that can open you up to all these other worlds of accomplishments. Take the case that your life is split up into particular domains that you are exiting in and winning at. Or existing in. I think I meant existing. That you're existing in and that you're winning at. Take those. And here's the point. You are winning in whichever domain you are playing in at that moment. We are wired to win in that domain. To be able to move out of that domain is going to require significant changes to your automatic that we just talked about. If you find that you're still not convinced, it's time to turn the mirror on yourself, if you will, and find out exactly where your wins are coming from. All right, you go right ahead, Francine. Selena says, my conclusion in my life is I'm so happy in my skin, and I can actually say that. And it's been 2 years being on here, and I can finally say I'm in my own skin. How cool is that? Oh, Harry, what a compliment. Love it. Selena, you don't have nothing to worry about with you in your skin. You're so beautiful. Love it. So when you're looking at these areas, when you're looking in your mirror, you want to look at your problem areas. Where in your life are you struggling the most? Is it a career? Is it family? Is it relationships? A negative habit you have? Is it choosing the wrong things to eat? Not working out enough? What are those areas that you are struggling in? And maybe you find yourself like me sometimes. Yes, I do work a full-time job, 40 hours a week, give or take. I also run my side business by doing auctions and selling on other platforms. And I help out at the flea market every other weekend. And I do vendor events. So I'm pulled in many, many different directions. And I'm constantly thinking, what's next? What's next? And I could use that as my excuse for things. But I choose to want to do this and make and grow my own business. When it comes to my side business, like needing to list items, for instance, there are more days than I care to admit to you guys that I put off work until the last minute, until I get to the countdown of how much money I'm needing and such to pay for a vendor event or new items to show, whatever it may be, until I'm up to, nose to nose with that. All right, Scooter, if you really want to do this, you've got to do this. You've got to make X amount. Maybe it's something different for you guys. But I know I can list things right now to hopefully add to the income. When I say list things, I can list things on Poshmark, eBay, Macari, whatever for my side business. I can do those things right now to hopefully add the income that I need. But there are times that I'll wait and wait until I absolutely can't wait any longer. But then I'll bust it out. Once the pressure of that strict deadline is looming over me, maybe it's something at work. Maybe I put it off until it's just something that's weighing on me and I have to get it done because it's like, get your job done or lose your job. Which one is it type thing. I don't think my boss would ever fire me, but there's always a chance of that. It's been 5 years. You lost your house key and you just now found it, Selena. Hey, that's a win. That is a win. You got what we're talking about tonight. All right, here we go. Here is another chat participation time. Who can relate to what I just said? Putting it off until you can't any longer, and now you have no choice and the pressure of getting it done. Who else has been in that same boat as me? Anybody? Don't let me be by myself. Anybody? Joanne says, I can. Thank you, Joanne. I would have you in my raft boat. Y'all remember when we talked about who we would have in our raft boat or lifeboat? Yeah, Joanne would be there. Oh my gosh, Selena. CC says me. Cool Wrench says me. Selena says, yep. Lisa D says me. So good. All y'all can relate to me. You put off something until you just can't put it off any longer. And then I beat myself up after I do that, going, if you would have already done this, Scooter, you would be dealing with this, We're still winning at proving something. Like the example I gave you about myself. We win at proving either we have no time or that we are a procrastinator or we're a loser by getting things done at the very last minute. Maybe it's something else, but you're winning because you are saying that you're this or that. Regardless if it's negative or positive, you're winning either way. Right, Selena? The truth does hurt sometimes. Right, Harry. I love my two gals, Dorito and Selena. So the key is to question yourself. Look at your actions. What is the real point of all this? What is that you get to be right about when all is said and done? Just like the relationship example we did at the beginning. We hold certain beliefs about ourselves or our life that we prove right time and time again through our everyday actions. The beliefs we have uncannily turn out to be deadly accurate in our reality. Maybe you find yourself spinning your wheels. What are you out to prove? I'm not smart. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy of love. I'm a failure. I'm not capable as I used to be. And with these repeats stuck in your subconscious, is it any wonder that you are a master at consistently proving them right? Big question there. Is it any wonder that you're a master at consistently proving that you're right? You're not smart. You're not good enough. You're not worthy of love. You are a failure. You're not as capable as you used to be. You're winning either way, whether your thought process is right or wrong, because that's what your subconscious beliefs are to be. In order to succeed in a more positive way, you have to prove those firmly held beliefs wrong. And this could also almost be too much for you to bear. It would unsettle the very foundations of who you have become. I don't know about you, but I know I have met some people in my lifetime that they have a subconscious desire to prove that their parents did bad at raising them. And this can be done in so many different ways when they manifest on it. Some can be subtle, others obvious, but it's still the same. Maybe your parents failed at raising you well by treating your body like crap, getting arrested, becoming addicted to something, dropping out of school, failing at relationships, chronic financial crisis, and any other random path we get lost in with ourselves. And this can cause someone to become disconnected or lost in the pressure of their work as an adult. Some people feel like because they think their parents failed to do their job, that their experience as a child didn't adequately prepare them for adulthood. Having that belief conveniently allows for a ready-made explanation as to why they did what they did and why they at times acted like a total butthole to others in their life. Cool says, you can't always blame all the crap on your parents, but there's such a thing as free will. Yes. Harry says, everyone's winning, but got to be positive, finish up the winning. Yes, definitely is not a good place to be. And that's why I created Monday Motivation, so we can come here and we can get all of that out, but at the same time be encouraged and know that sometimes it's okay not to be okay. Selena says, I'll row till my arms break for you all, but if you give me COVID, you're getting a fish upside the head. So, chat participation time. And I think yes. Well, we might have one more. So, chat participation time. Where was I? There we are. Can you see ways in which you do this in your own life? Think of the problem areas in your life. And then think about them in terms of what you are winning at. What do you see there? Perhaps your parents were awesome. Can you use another example in place? So can you see in ways that this can be in your own life is what I'm asking you. Short and sweet to that. Can you see ways that this can be in your own life? Everyone has to rise to the circumstances, right? Above those circumstances. Lisa D says, I do my best not use those negative thoughts. I do positive thinking, helps me feel lighter, right? Of course, there are some days I do tell myself, shove it, Scooter. Today's not the day. Selena says, my parents didn't get a book on how to be the perfect parents. They did the best they could. As I believe that's for all of us. We all do the best that we know how to do. But there are some that, y'all know what I'm talking about. So I'm not talking about parents. Do you see somewhere in your life ways in which you do this in your own life? You use some sort of blame, if you will, the problem areas of your life. Think about them in the terms that you're winning at. What do you see there? Steph says, have to be intentional in doing the U-turn, switch off the negative and create the positive, because positivity doesn't come knocking. No, it does not. Yes, you will, Lisa D. Thank you. Harry says, every time I start seeing negative, I think about all the positive things that went right, and usually the positive overruns the negative. Love it. Love it. All right. So maybe you're struggling to get work done and you believe that you're incapable or lazy. You prove that idea every single time you pause or you procrastinate. You prove that to yourself and everyone else that you really are that person. Why? Why do we do this? Us as humans are known as survival machines, and some, the way they survive is by reliving what has been. After all, it got you this far, regardless of how bad or negative it has been. You have survived. And again, these are just examples. They're just examples, so don't limit yourself to just these examples. You could be winning at something completely different. Do some introspecting. Write down any patterns you see and put the pieces together like a jigsaw puzzle. Time management, right? It's now others screwed me up and I let the ugly rule, but I'm in the sun now and I'm shining. Yeah, you are. So, as I said earlier, maybe, again, you had awesome parents, but you still can't commit to one person. Maybe it's because you don't believe your significant other could possibly live up to the example you were raised with. That's what I'm talking about when you switch whenever, it could be positive or negative. Maybe you think there's nobody that could ever measure up to your daddy. Some of us have thought that. And I think about that myself sometimes when I was younger. But the point is, we all have these items. Research your life, connect all the different situations that come into play in your life. Note the times you broke your promise to diet, to saving your money or speaking your mind. How many times did you skip the gym? Maybe you went shopping instead of going to the bank. Working at the flea market, we have certain customers, who come in and they've got a shopping problem. Because they say things, and I've heard them. I shouldn't be in here. Or, I was really going to try to avoid coming by here today, but here I am. And of course, we appreciate those people very, very much. But maybe those are kind of things that go on in your life. But the point is to pick one and see if you can discover the win. How many times you argued or lost your temper when you know you shouldn't have? What does this all point to? I'm so glad you asked. Whatever domain you're winning in, you will start to realize something you're really good at. There's dirty dishes in the sink and you've been avoiding them for days. You've used every plate, every cup, every piece of silverware, and then you start getting creative. You know what I'm talking about. You get very creative. You use that wooden baking spoon to eat cereal out of a Tupperware bowl. Genius. Or maybe you ate cereal out of a frying pan using a wooden bowl. Gosh, that scared me. That was my water bowl. You get real creative. You're genius. Get a picture and post it on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. You're the next inspiration. But when you start taking time to analyze your own life through this lens, you'll start to see that this is true. You really are wired to win. I mean, you got very creative in thinking of how to eat that bowl of cereal when you didn't have a bowl or a regular spoon. You can achieve things you set your mind to. I mean, you realize one more time that you just ate cereal out of a frying pan using a wooden spoon. And you still ate it still. We used some quotes last week of Seneca. I think it's how you pronounce his name. So here we go. Here's another one for you. It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. Let's see. Selena says, oh, can't count how many times I said I'm not buying anything else on YouTube, and it was cute to try to believe that, right? My parent aimed, no doubt, with great intentions, but missed terribly at times. They did absolutely amazing with the cars they had. I see them for who they were. Love that stuff. Harry says, and you know, when you go to Walmart and can't just buy one thing, that's a hard thing to pull away from, right? I've got 5 items on my grocery list. Why am I walking out with 20? Cool Ranch says, I'm serious. That doesn't happen in this house. Married to Mr. Clean. Yeah, row flows, same way. My mom used to tell me how happy she was that I married Robert because there was never a dirty dish in my sink. Thanks, Mom. So it is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. Meaning we think our minds are unconquerable when it comes to proving you're not worthy of love, that you're lazy, or you'll always be out of shape, or never have any money. What happens if we start changing our thinking a little? We use our mind's unconquerable nature to act on all positive goals and dreams that we have for ourselves. We are wired to win. We just have to point ourselves in the right direction so we win at something we consciously choose. Marcus Aurelius, I think is how you pronounce his name, said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thought. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Therefore, guard accordingly and take that you entertain no notions unsuitable to virtue and reasonable nature. Such a smart man. Throughout our Monday motivations and including this series, we have talked about the enormous role our subconscious plays in everything we do. It would only account for a fraction of our daily life, even if we consciously made the right decision at every opportunity. When you say, I am wired to win, it will support you in realizing how powerful you and your mind are. But you still need a game plan. We're almost done, guys. You have to start filling your bucket with the right ideas. So here is a good way to start. Start with thinking about the thing or things you'd like to change in your life. Maybe they are related to problem areas that we looked at earlier. Or maybe they could be something completely different. I don't know if I got reflex or what, but my throat keeps starts getting all burning. That's the word I'm looking for. So, what areas would you like to see progress? Or what do you want to accomplish? Whatever that looks like for you, take that goal and then break it down. I talk to y'all consciously. I talk to you about it all the time. Break those down. What exactly are the steps you need to take to achieve it? What mile markers do you need to set out to identify your progress as well? And again, maybe it's you're wanting to lose weight. Think about how you'll change your diet, get more exercise, and adopt a more healthful, nurturing habits. Go through what the daily actions are, what they look like, that you'll need to practice. Get in reality of it. Maybe instead of taking the elevator, you take the stairs to your office. I'm pointing at myself because I always take the elevator to go up and I take the stairs to go down. I need to change it, right? So now we can't just stop there. What are the changes in the mindset that we need to make during and after our quest to become more fit? You have to become relentless in pursuit of your goal, especially when those automatic past-based conversations start to become louder in your head. When you face the problems head on, how will your sense of self change? When you're fit and healthy, how will your beliefs about yourself be different? What does that even look like? Warning here against the idea that you'll suddenly be awesome. Keep in mind, though, that your future is not the answer to your present. Your future is not the answer to your present. With the subconscious thoughts being deeply ingrained in our psyche, it can take a lot of thinking, imagination, and commitment to transform these invisible yet powerful thoughts into ones that better align with your stated goals. Make the time to take your time. When you look at the problem areas you come up with, you might be able to connect to an emotionally charged event somewhere in your life that helps set them in your mind. Things like infidelity in a relationship, childhood bullying, parents that never quite lived up to your wants or needs, public embarrassment, or maybe it was a major career failure. As you think more about your future and what you really want to accomplish, the deeper those thought process will work their way into your mind and take hold. And as you explore and discover what it is you've really been winning at, it's not about fighting against or resisting those thoughts and actions, but rather about changing direction and setting yourself new goals and new outcomes. Let me go and chat real quick. There are so many of us that are guilty of that buying thing. I'm not buying anything else this month. Yeah, wrong. Don't need to be hard on yourself and go with the flow of things. Yes. Harry says you need to realize you can do it and don't make excuses like program your brain. Yes. Start believing it. Start believing, see it before it has arrived. Claim it. Yes. Selena and I, we're always, when we're talking, we're like, don't you speak that into existence, or we need to speak that into existence, whatever it may be that we're talking about. Oh, and stop thinking about hitting Sam with a big fish because he got me sick, right? He did. No more big fish thinking, Selena. All right. So, now, this works. The work that you do to accept this challenge should raise your awareness and throw up red flags when you're getting off course. You can alter your patterns when you understand your pattern. And it's only a matter of when you set out the goals that you are wanting to claim in your life and relentlessly taking the actions to produce. Define your game, embrace the challenge, and strive to understand yourself in a deeper and more meaningful way, because we are wired to win. You are wired to win. And when you have a true understanding of yourself and your personal constraints, it allows for ever unfolding degrees of freedom and success. And when you become more aware of your hard wiring, the more space and opportunity becomes available in those areas. So step out there, trust yourself, give yourself fully to your capacity for victory. Challenge yourself and set yourself in winning in new and exciting ways. Demand your greatness of yourself. And last chat participation, I want y'all to repeat after me. I am wired to win. Last chat participation, easily, just as the very first one we did tonight. Put in chat, I am wired to win. If you believe that you're wired to win, I don't want you to just put it in there just to get chat participation credit. If you believe that you're wired to win, then put in there, I am wired to win. Laws of attraction is a thing to look it up. It so definitely is. Envision our rainbow baby, and almost 19 years ago got her. Love it. Selena says, seriously, just keep being happy in my skin. It's been a long time that I hated myself. Yep. And we'll still have struggles, but you're rewiring. Wow, I just felt like Elmer Fudd there. Your way of thinking about that. Positivity and positive thinking takes you a long way. Yes. Selena, our first chat participation on that. I am wired to win. Joanne says, I am wired to win. Cece says, I am wired to win with exclamation marks. Lisa D, I am wired to win. Love it. Harry says, I am wired to win. Yes. Josie says, I win every day by waking up. Cool Ranch says, I am wired to win. Yes, you are all wired to win. Yes, if we just get out of God's way. Yes. All right. As always, thank you guys for starting off your week with me for Monday Motivation. I hope you got something out of tonight's topic. There was some little nugget that you got, because it's always worth it when y'all get one little thing that you want to, put in your life. All right. So we're going to do the last drawing of the night is for the hashtag drawing. And these were the tickets I put in there. If you're new to my channel, you're new to this whole thing about the whole hashtag drawing, I do short videos. And when I drop those short videos and you're able to comment, I know Selena, for whatever reason, hasn't been able to comment. We haven't figured it out yet. But all you do when I drop that short video and I tell you what the hashtag is, you just comment with that hashtag. So if I say hashtag April, you put hashtag April in there. So you just comment with that word. You have to watch the video now because I throw tricks in there. And if you comment a hashtag because you just copied it off of someone else, then you don't get an entry. And I do these all month long from the first to the midnight of the last day of the month. So if you want to watch them all on the last day of the month and get them all in then, that's fine. More power to you. But if you want to do them as I drop them, then you can do it that way too. But you do have until midnight of the last day of each month. So our hashtag winner for the month of March is No, I wasn't doing the hashtag now. I was just giving you an example. Oh, I love you too, Lisa D. Honey rabbits are better that sounding like Peter Brady on puberty. Is that what he says? All right. That's right. Don't forget the thumbs up. Oh, thank you. I don't feel so cute tonight. All right. Here we go. Who is our winner? Joanne! Congratulations, Joanne. So, Joanne, you're getting $5 in scooter cash, scooter bucks, whatever it is I call them. I was going to print one out and I totally forgot today. So, let me write this down real quick. Joanne, you are getting $5 of scooter bucks. And I'll apply that to your invoice. So you're getting that, and you're also getting this cute little notepad that has a little llama on there, brand new in the package, and you also get a pen. And this one says, see if I can read it. Oh, it's the same as the other pen I did earlier. The joy of the Lord is your strength. Nehemiah 8:10. So you get $5 scooter cash. You get the notepad, and you get the pen. Our big winner tonight. Congratulations. Thank you, Joanne. Oh, and it's so funny. I didn't realize it, but I pulled out two Joanne. So, Joanne, you were meant to win this tonight. So, congratulations, Joanne. You are awesome. Keep watching for those short videos and make your comment. If for some reason you are having a problem commenting, then if you want to just go into somewhere in my YouTube public post, whatever you call that, leave your comment there. Or if you got my phone number, text me that or email me. Any of those will work. Watch out, twin. They spit. They do spit, don't they? Oh, no, we're all going there. Harry said, hope that llama don't spit on you, Joanne. If he does, knock him out. Not yet, cool, because I'm so determined I'm going to do an unboxing of yours. I got yours. I got Selena's. I've got Jennifer's. I've got one off of Poshmark that I got to do. And one other one I can't think of right now. So I got, Jessica B. Jewelry. 5 of y'all that I got to do. And I just have not had a chance to do it. It is end of the tax season, so everybody and their mama is calling me about their taxes, and especially with how this market's going here lately. Phone has been ringing off the hook, and of course my boss, he had a conference at the end of last week, and he's at a conference at the beginning of this week until he doesn't get back in the office till Thursday. So everybody and their mama has been calling me. So, real quick, tomorrow night I will be on with my feather sister Selena for our one fry short of a Happy Meal at 7:30 p.m. Central. Wednesday night I will be on with Tammy Dream Chaser for our Halfway Wednesday show at 7:30 p.m. Central. And I think if the weather stays the way it's going to, same as it's going to be, we're going to be doing that outside on our big porch there at Hometown Country. And we're going to kind of be in what we call our semi that has a whole bunch of glass in there. So we're going to be doing that live. We're going to try something different for you guys. So that will be Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Central. And then Thursday night, Cool Ranch Dorito will obviously be back with me at 7:30 p.m. Central. Yes, you will. Is there green chili in there? Dang it. All right. Thank you. I was kind of worried there for a second. Make sure you are subscribed if you're not subscribed to my channel, that you have the bell mark for all notifications. And don't forget your thumbs up on your way out if you haven't done it already. Harry will be on my channel, so just come to my channel and you'll get to know all about Tammy. All right, next Monday Motivation, episode 119. We're going to be discussing, I got this. Well, what do we have? I don't know. You have to come back next Monday and figure that out. Make it a great week if I don't see you somewhere around the YouTube. And remember, we are wired to win. You are wired to win. Now let's do this thing. Good night, everybody.